This means we're finally gonna have some real money. George, we're the #1 station in town.
What up, y'all? This your boy, Mr. Mars Sharp, Short Man Filmworks in the building. And we have another episode of the Everyday Man's Film Reviews coming to y'all tonight. Tonight we're going to talk about the 1989 and what I consider a classic movie is, as I'm doing with a lot of these movies. The 1989 classic UHF starring Weird Al Yankovic and a couple other castmates that's along in that movie. I kind of stumbled upon, well, I'm not going to say I stumbled upon this movie. I came about this movie in 1991, I believe. It came on cable. And when it came on cable, I kind of always slept on this movie. And when it actually did come on cable, I actually gave it a shot and I actually watched it. And I actually ended up enjoying it to the fullest extent. You guys that know about Weird Al Yankovic, he was known for doing a whole lot of parodies in the 80s. He did a parody of Michael Jackson's Beat It, and he called it, I think he called it Eat It. Was it called Eat It? I think it was called Eat It. And then he did the parody for Bad, and he called it I'm Fat. You know, so he was known for doing a whole lot of different parodies back in the 80s. And when he did this movie, it kind of had that same wacky take on what was going on at the particular time. It's a lot of different little different nuances inside of the movie if you watched it. I watched the movie a couple of months ago because it was actually free on YouTube, and I was like, well, let me give this another watch because I hadn't seen it in a long time. But it became one of my favorite movies growing up when I seen it for the first time. I just found it to be like ultra, like just funny because of the sheer silliness of the movie. Pretty much, you know, when the movie starts off that Weird Al Yankovic's character, whose name is George Newman, and his character, he's a dreamer. So he has a whole lot of these different daydreams, and but his girlfriend, played by Victoria Jackson, his girlfriend said he has this overactive imagination, and it's basically kind of like I don't know. I kind of feel like he shot out a whole lot of dreamers in this movie of, you know, you in one spot because he's working this fast food restaurant, and while he's at the fast food restaurant, he's just having these wild, outlandish daydreams, and he's pretty much have a daydream about there's a particular scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark, and he puts his own little take of that one of the particular scenes in the movie in the daydreams. You know what I mean? So his character, this character that he plays, I don't want to say he's all over the place, but he's just kind of, he's a free spirit. He lives to enjoy it, and he lives to pretty much have fun and just, you know, kind of, I don't want to say let his imagination rule over him, but he kind of lets that imagination, you know, now I don't want to say get the best of him, but he kind of lets it lead his life. But pretty much he has this uncle that has this TV station that he pretty much ran in the ground, and his uncle not gives him the TV station, but he gives him the opportunity to actually run the TV station. So George gets fired from his job at the fast food restaurant, and he's like, okay, well, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pay these bills, and he's with his roommate, who he gets his roommate fired along with him. So they kind of like this team of running together and being together. And when George's uncle gives him this TV station, he comes up with all of these wild ideas for TV shows. Like some of the TV shows that are advertising this thing, you know, you think about, when you look at it, it's funny to look at, you know. And when I first seen it when I was like, I seen it, like I said, this was like I believe it was like 1990 or 1991. I want to say 1991 when I saw it. And when I saw it, you know, it was funny. It's funny to me, and it's still funny to this day, but it's funnier now because when I look at the commercials now, being older, I understand, you know, the underlying meaning of a whole lot of the commercials that was going on, and a whole lot of the TV shows that they was putting on inside of the movie. When I was like 10 years old, I didn't really understand it. I just got the funny out of the movie. But when I see it now and I watch it now, and I still enjoy it to this day, when I watch it now, I look at it now with, you know, I look at it with a different set of eyes. When I look at it now, it's like, oh, okay, so that's what they meant by that. And, you know, oh, this is what they was trying to convey, in this particular part of the movie, or it's just it's just a whole lot of different things that's going on. Now I would say a whole lot of different things going on in the movie, but he gets this TV station, and after he gets this TV station, and what happens is they put on so many of these different shows that the station actually ends up becoming not the station, but the channel ends up becoming one of the top channels inside of the town that they're living in, and he's competing. His channel, which is U62, is competing with Channel 8, which is pretty much on the mainstream, And this was at the time where cable really wasn't mainstream at the time. You had a certain selected few of households that had cable at the time, and you had two frequencies. You either had the VHF frequency, or you had the UHF frequency. So in the movie, you got the UHF frequency, which really doesn't have too many of the channels. Y'all remember them? Y'all remember that TV back in the day where you had the main knob, and then you had the UHF channels where you turn the knob to channel U, and then you go through the other channels and go through those little, go through that whole little gauntlet of channels, and you might find something, but you didn't really fuck with the UHF channels too much. You stood on the main channels, on the main knob. But in the movie, you got the UHF station competing with the VHF station, and it's more emphasis on the UHF channel, because we don't really see much of what's going on with Channel 8. We see more of what's going on with U62. So it's more emphasis on that channel. You know what I mean? And I guess with the wackiness of the shows, you have people in the town that gravitated toward that TV station, and you have another character in there by the name of Stanley Spadowski, played by Michael Richards, who's known as Kramer on Seinfeld. I didn't really watch Seinfeld, but everybody knows about Kramer. If you into TV, you know about Kramer. I didn't watch Seinfeld, but I know about the character of Kramer. But Michael Richards plays Stanley Spadowski, who pretty much blows the station up. And I don't mean blow it up like boom, boom, but he blows up the popularity of the station with his show called Stanley Spadowski's Clubhouse, which puts the TV channel on the map, But I don't want to say he plays this kind of. He kind of plays like this slow character, but you see that he kind of, I don't want to say he's mentally challenged, but you see that he's kind of, he doesn't kind of really have it all there like everybody else, but he still brings his own little flavor to what's going on in the movie, and he has some funny moments inside of this movie as well. It's a whole lot of different things going on in this movie, but it's enjoyable to watch, and to me, I still find it funny to the day when I watch it, So, not giving y'all the whole movie, because I don't want to really give y'all the whole movie, but I say if you want to go out there, check the movie out, give it a shot, try it out and give it a shot. As to me, it was more of a nostalgic movie to me as I look at it now, because it brings up memories of my childhood of thinking about this film and thinking about this movie, But like I said, for me, it's always been an enjoyable movie, and I slept on it. I slept on it when I was younger, and then it ended up becoming one of my favorite films. Which a lot of movies I've done like that. I slept on a lot of movies that I didn't think I was gonna watch, and then just one day out of the blue, it comes on cable, and I sit down and I watch it, and I enjoy it, and then once again, after just watching it, I enjoy it, and I keep watching it over and over again, and then next thing I know, it's in my mental Rolodex as one of my favorite movies. So UHF did become one of my favorite movies. A lot of the different, like I said, a lot of the different shows that they had in there that was kind of doing parodies of what was going of popular culture. You had Conan the Barbarian with Arnold Schwarzenegger starring in that. Then they had a parody called Conan the Librarian. They had this game show called Wheel of Fish, and with it, and I think that Wheel of Fish was kind of like I want to say it kind of was a parody of Wheel of Fortune, but also a parody of what's the game show of Let's Make a Deal, where you could choose whether or not if you spin the wheel, you could choose whether you want that particular fish, or you can go with what's in the mystery box. Kind of like Let's Make a Deal. You get you find out you get a prize, but then you want to find out, hey, look, do you want to go with the prize that you got right here, or do you want to go with what's behind the curtain? And then let's make a deal. There's always something behind the curtain. And in this wheel of fish, they got the lady can pick the fish, or she can pick what's in the box, and my man lifts up the box and there's nothing in the box. So when you see something like that, it's kind of like, well, what's the point of me being on this game show? But like I said, they all parodies of what was going on of popular culture of that particular time, you know. So I'm trying to think of some other things, because there's so many other things going on in that movie. There's a commercial about a store called Spatula City, where you can go to this store and just get a whole bunch of different spatulas for birthday gifts, engagement, Christmas gifts, you know. So it's silly, but then when you look at it, the silliness makes it funny, and you look at it like, okay, who would actually go to a place called Spatula City just to buy a spatula, where you can get that from, you know, a everyday hardware store? You can go to Walmart and go buy a spatula, or a supermarket and go buy a spatula. But as I said, when I was 10 years old, I didn't understand none of this stuff when I was watching that. 10 years old, I didn't understand how silly it was for them to have a commercial about Spatula City. You know, they do a parody about Gandhi, because, you know, you had the movie with Gandhi, and then they do a parody where they do Gandhi too, and he's the total opposite of what Gandhi is. Gandhi was more about peace and, you know, peace and love, and in this Gandhi too, he's fighting and he's shooting people up. He's more about violence and all this other stuff. So it's interesting to look at when you see these things going on. So you know, it's in that Weird Al bracket of silliness. You know, if you want to put it that way, you know, because if you seen a lot of Will Al's parodies, you'll know, you know, I'm not ripping it off, but he's pretty much doing a counterbalance. He's counterbalancing what was going on at the time, you know, what was going on in society and what was popular, you know. So, you know, it's interesting to look at that, and it's funny to look at that, of how he did that with the movie. And I don't think he had a take on it, because I don't think he wrote the movie. I gotta look at the credits again, but I don't think he wrote the movie. But I'm pretty sure he had his hand in the creative process of the movie, you know. So you get a chance, check out the movie. You know, it's about an hour and a half, you know. So it's a quick watch. It's a quick watch, but I think if y'all get out there and y'all watch the movie, y'all will enjoy it. It's a 1989 movie. To me, it holds up to this. To me, now I don't know about anybody else, but to me, it holds up to this day where you can still watch it. You know what I mean? And I think probably if they did something like this today, I don't know if they did a movie like this today, would it? I don't know if it would make I don't want to say make an impact. I don't know if it would be. I guess if it's done right, if it was done right, it could make the same kind of impact that Will Al was doing back in the day with what he was doing with this movie. But I think it could be done. I think you got to find like the right kind of content to talk about, and there's so much content to talk about of what's going on today. But I think you find the right kind of content, the right people to do something like this, that it would be real interesting to, you know, to see. You know, did a whole lot of parody movies. You know, they had the scary movie parodies, and I mean, they had a time they was doing a whole lot of parody movies. They had the scary movie parodies, and they had a superhero movie parody, and a dance movie flick. You know, so it could be done today, but you know, I think it'll be interesting to do today, to kind of see what kind of vision or what kind of take they would have on the issues and popular culture of today. You know, so that would be, to me, that'd be interesting to see. So if anybody's out here watching this movie, and y'all filmmakers, do a parody, do something that was going on in today's society, and it'd be real interesting to look at and real interesting to check out. You know, make light of what's going on in the world today. You know, because everything is just so serious, and everything is so tight, and everybody's so afraid to say certain things, and everything is so PC. I think in a lot of ways we need to get back to a time where people could take jokes, and people not afraid to laugh, and people not afraid to say to say what they want to say. I mean, this is supposed to be America. It's supposed to be freedom of speech, right? This is what it's supposed to be about, you know. So movies like this movie, I don't want to say it would be hard to do today, but I think in a lot of ways it'd kind of be a refreshing take on filmmaking and what's going on in today's society too, you know. But anyway, I ain't trying to go. I'm going off in another direction. I need to stay on course and stay where I'm staying at. So, getting to the scale. I give UHF 4 thumbs up, and I think y'all already know if I'm talking about these movies, y'all already know I'm gonna give these movies 4 thumbs up. So 4 thumbs up for the nostalgic feel. 4 thumbs up for the comedy. It's not dark humor. It's not dry humor. To me, it's funny. I think if you really sit down and just get lost in the movie, you'll find a whole lot of things funny about this movie. So I think the comedy is great. Inside of this movie, and I usually talk about the acting. It's believable. The characters are believable. Will Out is believable as George Newman with his absurd imagination. His partner Bob. I can't think of the actor's name who played Bob, but he's believable as his best friend, as almost like a sidekick. Michael Richards, Stanley Spadowski, kills it, rocks it out as Stanley Spadowski, and he's got his own little flavor of comedy as well. And the actor who played R.J. Fletcher, I believe his name is Kevin McCarthy. You know, he plays the general manager of, no, not the general manager, the owner of Channel 8, and he plays that typical big wig 80 tycoon asshole inside of the movie, where he just wants everything to go his way. If anything is giving him some competition, he's going to find anything to bring it down. You know, so he plays it real well. He plays that tycoon role real well. He gives me J.R. Ewing vibes. And anybody who knows in the 80s, if you watch Dallas, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about with J.R. Ewing. So he gives me that kind of vibe of a character. He gives me that J.R. Ewing vibe when you watch this movie. Victoria Jackson, she plays Will Al's girlfriend. She has a small role. She doesn't really have too much of a big role. She's just, I don't want to say she's just there, but she's George's girlfriend in the movie. So, you know, to me, everybody did a good job. It's not too big of a cast. You know, it's not too big of a cast. You know, everybody serves their purpose inside of the film. So I think it worked out real well. And like I said, it's enjoyable to watch, and it's believable. It's believable and it's enjoyable to watch, and it's silly when you look at it, but it's not to me, it's not over the top silly like you watch some of these other parody movies and it's really over the top to the point where some of the jokes are just fucking stupid, and you just like, I could have did without that. You kind of giggle you giggle a little bit, but you know, with UHF, I found myself, when I first saw it, I found myself like really laughing at this movie. Even now, I watch it now and I still laugh at a lot of the shit that's going on in the movie. So, you know, it's you know, it's a good comedy. It's a good 80s comedy to watch and enjoy, you know. So if you get a chance, check it out. Will Al Yankovic, anybody who's, you know, if you're a Will Al Yankovic fan, you will love this movie. And, you know, even if you're not a Will Al Yankovic fan, you know, I still believe you'll still enjoy the movie. Because like I said, I wasn't much of a Will Al Yankovic fan when this movie came out. But then when I actually saw this movie, it kind of got me into him. You know, so give it a shot. Check it out. Give it a shot. I think, you know, y'all enjoy the movie. If y'all give it a try and y'all give it a shot, all right? So, if you like this video, you know, like, comment, subscribe, give your boy some love. This is your boy, Mr. Mar Sharp, and this is the Everyday Man's Film Reviews. You know, I will see y'all on the next video, and y'all take care.